Picture this: a packed stadium, roaring crowds, and superstar athletes commanding astronomical salaries. Yet behind the glitz and glamour, many of the world's biggest football clubs are drowning in debt. How can teams that generate billions still struggle to stay afloat? It's a paradox that'll leave you scratching your head. Welcome to the Economy Unpacked daily YouTube channel. From Wall Street to your street, we share the world of money in a clear way. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of sports economics, where success on the pitch doesn't always translate to financial stability. Top football clubs aren't just athletic organizations anymore. They're global entertainment brands with hundreds of millions of followers worldwide. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Manchester United are household names that resonate far beyond the realm of sports. But here's the kicker. Despite raking in billions in annual revenue, many of these clubs remain in debt or consistently post yearly losses. So why do clubs that seem so financially successful still struggle to turn a profit? This paradox lies at the heart of sports economics, and it's what we're unpacking today. Let's start by looking at where all that money comes from. Broadcasting rights and TV deals are the biggest revenue drivers for top clubs. The English Premier League, for instance, has signed deals worth over $10 billion globally. While clubs get significant shares of this pie, it also makes them heavily dependent on TV money. Matchday income is another crucial revenue stream, from ticket sales and VIP boxes to stadium tours and merchandise. Clubs like Manchester United can rake in over $100 million annually just from matchday revenue. However, as we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic, this income source can be incredibly vulnerable. Sponsorships and commercial deals form the third pillar of club finances. Jersey sponsorships, kit suppliers, and global partnerships can be worth hundreds of millions per year for top clubs like PSG and Manchester City. These sponsors see clubs as powerful marketing channels to reach a massive global audience. Speaking of global reach, clubs have found ways to monetize their international fan bases through merchandise sales, overseas tours, and digital engagement. Manchester United, for example, claims to have over 650 million fans worldwide. That's a commercial base larger than most countries. But here's where things get interesting. Despite these massive revenue streams, clubs often struggle to stay in the black. Why? Because their costs are astronomical. Player salaries are the biggest expense, often consuming 60 to 80% of a club's revenue. When you hear about players like Lionel Messi earning over 70 million euros annually at Barcelona, it's easy to see how wage inflation can quickly outpace revenue growth. Then there are transfer fees. The market has exploded in recent years, with Neymar's 222 million euros moved to PSG in 2017, setting a new benchmark. Now, it's not uncommon for clubs to shell out 100 million euros or more for top players. Don't forget about infrastructure costs. Modern stadiums like Tottenham's can cost over £1 billion to build, and even routine maintenance and upgrades eat into profits. Add to that the often overlooked agent fees and other hidden costs, and you start to see why balancing the books is so challenging. So why don't clubs just tighten their belts? Well, winning doesn't come cheap, and the pressure to succeed is immense. Fans expect big signings, while investors crave global prestige. This often leads to financially irrational spending decisions as clubs chase short-term glory at the expense of long-term stability. Attempts to curb this spending, like UEFA's financial fair play regulations, have had mixed results. While some clubs face fines for overspending, many find ways to push the limits or exploit loopholes. Let's look at a few case studies to illustrate this paradox. FC Barcelona, one of the highest revenue clubs in the world, saw its debt spiral to over 1.3 billion euros. High wages and reckless transfer spending on players, like Coutinho and Griezmann, pushed the club to the brink of financial collapse. Manchester United, despite being a commercial powerhouse with global sponsors, struggles with debt from leveraged buyouts and high wage bills. Fan protests against ownership mismanagement have become a common sight at Old Trafford. Then there's Paris Saint-Germain, backed by Qatar Sports Investments. PSG's enormous spending on players like Messi, Neymar, and raises questions about the sustainability of their model and whether it's only possible due to state backing. The economics behind this bubble are eerily similar to financial markets. Revenues rise, but costs rise even faster, as clubs chase success by spending more than they earn. This heavy reliance on broadcasting and sponsorships makes clubs vulnerable to external shocks. As we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic, when empty stadiums caused massive revenue losses, it's worth noting that smaller clubs face even greater risks. Without billionaire owners or mega TV deals to fall back on, they're more likely to face bankruptcy when costs outpace revenues. Several clubs in lower leagues have already collapsed under financial pressure. So, what does the future hold for sports economics? The challenge lies in balancing financial stability with competitiveness. Some are calling for salary caps, similar to those used in American sports leagues, to be implemented in European football. Clubs are also exploring new revenue streams through digital innovation. NFTs, fan tokens, and club-owned streaming platforms are just a few ways teams are trying to increase income. Some clubs have already raised millions by selling crypto-based fan tokens. There's also talk of restructuring ownership models. Stricter financial regulations, fan-owned clubs like Germany's 50+1 system, and limits on agent fees are all being considered as ways to create a more balanced and sustainable system. In conclusion, sports economics demonstrates a unique truth. In the world of football, glory often outweighs profit. Clubs chase titles and fan adoration, even at great financial risk, because success on the pitch is priceless to supporters. While the football bubble may not burst suddenly, continued overspending is clearly unsustainable. Reforms or innovations will be necessary to secure the long-term future of the sport we love. Remember, as fans, we have more power than we might think. Our engagement, spending, and loyalty shape the future of sports economics. Without our demand, the entire system would collapse. So next time you cheer for your team or buy that new jersey, know that you not just supporting your club, you participating in a complex economic ecosystem that stretches far beyond the pitch. Thanks for tuning in to Economy Unpacked Daily. If you enjoyed this deep dive into sports economics, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow football fanatics. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep unpacking the economy.